There are many different types of legendary items that you can obtain in Cyberpunk 2077, but with weaponry and gear differing in both type and tier, it's easy to forget that your body too can be made into a living, breathing tool of destruction. So today, I'll be showing you the locations of 5 legendary cyberware items that you can pick up right now completely for free. Some of these are legendary mods that will give your cyberware insane buffs, and some will be actual pieces of legendary cyberware you can easily pick up. So let's jump into it. Starting with the legendary Beast Mode Cyberware mod, and let me tell you, this is a very fitting name for this legendary piece of gear. Now, Beast Mode attaches to any Biodyne Berserk operating system you currently have installed, and when activated grants you a 15% bonus to armor and resistance, a 15% bonus to health regeneration, and the big one, a 100% bonus to your melee damage, which for just the Cyberware mod is absolutely huge and perfect for anyone rocking a melee build. Now obviously, before you get this mod, you'll want to pick up the legendary version of the Biodyne Berserk. This can be purchased from the Ripperdock in the Japantown region of Westbrook in this location on the map. You see, the Biodyne Berserk Mark IV comes with a ton of bonuses when activated. It reduces weapon recoil by 25%, increases melee damage by 25%, increases damage with ranged attacks by 20%, and increases armor and resistances by 5%. Also, while Berserk is active, jumping from a high height initiates a superhero landing that creates a shockwave that damages nearby enemies. So a little bonus there when using it. Anyway, now that you're able to activate your Berserk ability like the madman you are, head on over to this location on the map in the city centre downtown. Once here, walk up the road as shown in the video, then take a left and you'll find yourself just outside of a parking garage. From there, simply head inside of the parking garage and make your way to the level below. Keep following the same path that I take and you'll eventually find a crate with the legendary Beast Mode mod sitting inside of it. An absolute must-have for you melee builds out there, and I cannot recommend this enough. That 100% bonus melee damage is truly insane. The legendary Monowire. You see, this cybernetic modification is made from a monofilament that can be whipped at enemies, cutting them on contact. It also kind of reminds me of a scene from the 1995 sci-fi action movie Johnny Mnemonic, where an assassin whips a monomolecular wire towards a character named Johnny, who also so happens to be played by none other than Keanu Reeves himself. Anyway, the monowire can be charged to deal a concentrated amount of physical damage, often dismembering an enemy in one foul swipe. And with the added ability to deal bonus damage per charge level, along with its boost to both crit and bleed chance, you're looking at one of the best melee weapons in game. To get this, head on over to this location marked right here on the map. This will take you right in front of a pharmaceuticals building. Once here, move along the left of the building until you spot some garages. From there, simply open the first garage that is attached to the building, and you'll find this legendary piece of cyberware waiting inside of a crate. All that's left is for you to install it at your nearest Ripperdock, so if you don't have this one yet, I definitely suggest you get your hands on it. Up next, we have the legendary Sandy Vistan Arazaka software mod, and this is definitely something for you stealth builds out there who are most likely rocking a Sandy Vistan operating system. You see, at the very crux of this operating system is the ability to slow down time on activation, which also comes with a range of buffs to V as far as crit chance and damage is concerned. And although these can be brought at various Ripperdocks, there is no better choice for this mod than the Militech Falcon Sandy Vistan Mark V, which can more specifically be brought from the Ripperdock at Well Springs right here on the map. This will be a stealth build's best friend, as when activated it slows down time by 30% for a grand total of 18 seconds. It also increases overall damage by 15%, crit chance by 20%, and crit damage by 35% while the Sandy Vistan is active. And what's cool about this is it can be made even better when applying the legendary Arasaka software mod, which when attached to the operating system increases the time taken for enemies to notice you by 70% when Sandy Vistan is active. This means you'll be practically invisible when sneaking through enemy compounds. So yeah, it's a crazy buff and absolutely worth picking up. To get this Cyberware mod, head on over to the Arasaka estate, which is marked right here on your map. Once here, hop over the gate and make your way over to the house at the very end. From here, you'll need to climb to the very top of the building, where you'll find a red bar. Simply hop over the bar and open the bedazzled case beneath you, as waiting inside will be the legendary Arasaka software mod. Definitely a mod worth obtaining for anyone rocking the Sandy Vistan. But if you're more of a reflexes build who has sunk a few perks into the blade subclass, pay attention, as the legendary Mantis Blades are a must-have for any lover of sharpened steel. Not only does this Cyberware installation allow you to do an insane amount of physical damage to your target, with a chance of inflicting the bleeding condition, it also comes with the ability to leap towards enemies. Simply put, this means you'll no longer have to waste stamina running after enemies that are out of your reach. And as you're well aware, stamina is incredibly important when it comes to melee-oriented combat. Collecting this piece of legendary Cyberware is as easy as heading over to the Behavioral Health Center in the city center of Corpo Plaza. Once you're here, rather than heading into the center, take the doorway to its left and sneak over to the supply box as shown in the video. And contrary to popular belief, you don't have to zero the Cyber Psycho on patrol here. This is important to know, especially if you're trying to do this at an early stage in the game, as trying to take this guy out early, if you're on the harder difficulties, will be quite the task. Anyway, once collected, take a trip to the nearest Ripper dock and install these legendary blades. Believe me, you'll never feel cooler, as these things absolutely shred. And finally, we have the legendary Rhino Battery Mud. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Anyway, this attaches to the Gorilla Arms piece of Cyberware and restores 100% of your stamina upon killing an enemy. So another absolute must-have legendary mod if you're someone who likes rocking the Gorilla Arms. Now again, before you pick this mod up, it's best you obtain the legendary Gorilla Arms first. If you're close to completing the main campaign of the game, go ahead and do so, as finishing the story actually awards you with this piece of legendary Cyberware free of charge. Now, the alternative to this is they can be brought from two different locations. The first being the Ripper Dock at Haywood Wellsprings, marked right here on the map, and the second is from the Ripper Dock at Downtown City Center. Anyway, now that you're kitted out with the strength of Hercules, it's time to beef this up with the Rhino Battery. So head on down to this location in Watson Kabuki. Once here, move straight through the area filled with the bags of cement and cargo containers until you find a blue owl-shaped container with an item box next to it. It's inside of this item box where you'll find the legendary Rhino Battery Mud. Again, if you're rocking Gorilla Arms, definitely a suggested Cyberware mod for you to pick up. And that's pretty much it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy, and click on screen right now to check out 10 features removed from Cyberpunk 2077.